Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to CheckMate Humanity. I hope you're doing well today. I have to say, I was really not into the Murdaugh trial. Murdaugh, whatever. I wasn't into the Murdoch case until I started watching the trial. And, they showed the body cam footage of him, of the the body cam footage of the night of the murders and other footage of his interviews and things like that. And welcome to those who are coming in. Please remember to hit the like button. Um, and hey, Mona Lisa, as I was watching it and I kept hearing the way he was over emoting and just the way he was talking, I was like, oh, I can't with this guy. Hey, Clarel. I can't with this guy. And I've said this a few different times on streams, maybe videos. I don't know. I haven't sat through the entire trial. I don't know whether this guy is guilty of murder or not, but this guy is a lifelong, very skilled manipulator, which, was testified to by the fact of all the people he stole money from. And he's admitted to stealing that money. And, he did that for years and years and years. He says to support an opioid addiction. But that sounds implausible, but whatever. But that's not the kind of behavior when you've been that manipulative for that long, so much of a liar to so many people at such a high scale. That's not the kind of behavior you just slough off for a trial when you're being, when you're being accused of murder. And I don't think he even has the ability to slough off the deep level of manipulation that this guy embodies. And so, but before I get to the body cam footage and stuff like that, I thought it was really interesting. That's the most maybe innocuous word I could come up with, that O.J. Simpson weighed in on this thing. Can you believe this shit? So I'm going to show you. It's not a very long video. He posted it on Twitter. I'm going to show you this because I just find it unbelievable, some of the things he said. This guy is unbelievable. Get to it here. Maybe blow it up.
When the trial first started, I watched him take the stand, and I thought it was probably a mistake because the guy is an admitted liar, and it's hard for me.
Right. He's an admitted liar. Why did he take the stand? I mean, he's probably, if he gets a guilty count, if he gets a guilty verdict, that's probably going to be one of the things that did seal the deal, is his performance on the stand, in my view. And I think OJ kind of knows what the risk is in that. I personally believe that OJ is in the same class as Murdoch, a lifelong manipulator, in my opinion. Here we go.
To think he can be on the stand 5, 6, 7, 8 days without lying. Question is, what did he lie about? But lying and stealing money is a little different than murder. I realized in watching them testify what he was doing. He was just trying to relate to one or two of those jurors that he was a good old boy. He was one of them. And I'm not sure he didn't succeed in doing that.
Well, of course, you wouldn't be sure he didn't succeed in doing that, considering what happened in your trial. I mean, they were obviously that is clearly what he was doing, was, you know, doing the good old boy thing. I mean, wasn't he at a certain point like literally sitting facing the jury? It was very Amber Heard like. Anybody who was watching the Amber Heard trial and watching how, you know, a question would be asked, it would be something like this. Question asked, turn to jury. Question asked, turn to jury. Question asked, turn to jury. That's true, Mona Lisa. I agree. I do agree. Okay, well, let's go back to this.
I am not qualified to really say if the guy did it or he didn't do it. You know, if a juror missed an hour of testimony, they no longer qualify.
But you're qualified to write a book saying if he did it, this is what it looked like, right? You are qualified to write that kind of a book because you did. Oh, the unmitigated gall of this guy.
I've missed days that I haven't watched this. But from what I've seen, do I think it's more likely that he did it? Yes. But more likely equals reasonable doubt.
I don't think I don't think I don't think he's exactly correct in what he just said there. It was probably just a misstatement. A little kind of a true story. Never has he pleaded for justice for his family, finding a real killer. Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure who you're talking about specifically, Arcacoma, if you're talking about OJ or Murdaugh. Murdaugh hasn't. And I don't think OJ did too. Maybe OJ did after the trial. I don't know, but I think these guys are just cut from the same personality cloth, in my opinion. But a long time ago, this isn't the case now. A long time ago, a family member told me that her ex-husband found out that his next door, he just moved into a house, and this isn't the case anymore. For any of you people who go stalking and digging, this distant family member told me that her ex-husband moved to a place and then found out that OJ was his next door neighbor. This was a while back. Yeah, Murdoch. I agree with you, Arcacoma.
So, from what I know, I would have to say there's a lot of reasonable doubt there. He's going to go to jail for all the thievery he did, stealing millions of dollars of people. I think he should be looked at more about the death of his housekeeper a few years ago, where he ended up with over $4 million of the insurance money. I think they should take a hard look at that. But it wouldn't surprise me in the least if this guy beats this case. He's going to go to jail. He's going to go to jail for all the money he stole. I'm curious there because I got 9 to 33 years. 33 years because I caught some guys trying to sell my stolen property and I yelled at them. Even they didn't think I should.
He didn't just yell at them. He came in there with a gun. I'm sorry. This guy. Jesus.
To go to jail, and the judge gave me, Jackie Glass gave me 9 to 33 years. So I'm trying to see what this guy is going to get. I was up there with guys who had robbed casinos and robbed banks 2 or 3 times, and they had half the time or a third of the time that I got. So I'm always curious.
Oh, OJ, poor OJ. What a victim. You're such a victim. I'm so sorry, OJ.
To see what kind of time these guys get for stealing millions of dollars. When I caught guys stealing my stolen property, the state of California, after I was convicted, ruled it was my property and they gave it to me. So I have it now. So how do you go to jail for catching guys who are trying to sell your stolen property? Well, nevertheless, I do think this guy more than likely did it. But once again, more than likely, to me, is tantamount to reasonable doubt. It would work against him in a civil trial, but I don't know if it's going to work against him in this criminal trial. Wouldn't surprise me in the least if he beats this. I'm just saying. Take care.
Ooh, sorry, I was muted. He's just saying, because, you know, he knows a lot about true crime. He actually does, right? My gosh. All right, now I'm going to grab the actual body cam footage here for us to watch. I hope you're all doing well. Please hit the thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay. I think I got it here. Hold on one moment. Oops. Sorry. All right. We are on the night. I'm not sure if OJ's married. I think he might be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, it would be hard to believe he isn't. You know, he's such a ladies' man, right? Yeah. Why does that keep happening? Sorry. All right. I'd love to hear what you all think. Do you guys, if you were on the jury, what would you say? Is he guilty? Are you hung? And I don't mean in that way. Are you a hung jury? Or are you guilty verdict? Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, I'm going to minimize. Oops, I meant to minimize myself, not maximize myself. There we go. All right, here we go. Guilty. Okay, we got guilty with Sunny. We got guilty with Candice Ram. Okay, guilty for Candice Ram. I'm pretty sure I'm on the side of guilty, but I'm not on the jury. All right, here we go. I'm going to hit play now. We're going to watch this.
Central 717 scene is secure. Got a Whiskey Fox, Whiskey Mike, both gunshot wounds to the head.
Sir, I want to let you know because of the scene, I did go get a gun and bring it down here.
It's in your vehicle? Do you have any?
Okay, the first thing that gets to me is I need to let you know. I need to let you know something. Before you say something. So who knows what I would be doing if I just found my family members murdered, right? But I don't think I'd be thinking about, are they going to wonder where I put about some guns? No, I'd be like, where are they? Go get them. I think blah blah blah. How did this happen? You need to go find them. That would be my state of mind. But no. So it's not just what he's saying to me. It's also and I also want to get the that side panel off. There we go. Okay. It's also the fact that the way he's talking, he's like, it's so forced. the word I'm looking for in his way of speaking is forced. Okay. I just, that's the best way I can describe it right now. He's, okay.
The gun's on you at all?
No, sir. It's leaning up
Okay.
against the side of my car.
Okay. You're fine, man. You're fine. Turn around for me.
I don't have any.
Okay. Yes, sir. I see that. Okay. This is your wife and son?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Oh, wow. There's an intense dog fight not far from my house right now. It's woo. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay. Intense dog fights, man. They can they can be scary. Yes, that's right, Sonny. He's acting like a little boy lying to his mom. You're right. See, it's not me. It reminds me of when my kids were like 8 and 6. Okay. My 6-year-old, he was a little troublemaker. And my 8-year-old at the time was, he was the goody two shoes. He was always like, he was just the goody two shoes. And so the little one once said, Mom, Dad, come look at this. And he brought us to this shelving unit in the house. And in our younger son's writing, it said older son. Let's say the older son's name. I don't like giving my kids names out here. Let's say my older son's name was Henry. Okay. It said Henry was here in my younger son's writing. That's what this looks like to me. Look at this. Oh my God. Look what happened. And somebody else did it. I called you here, but somebody else did it. And just the overacting, and it's just too, and it also looks to me like the way someone is thinking they should act if they're innocent. That's the way it looks to me, that he's acting the way he thinks he should act if he is innocent. Now, I don't know if he's the shooter or if he was there when the shooters were there and this took place, but that's what he looks like to me.
It's bad. It's bad. Check the pulses.
Yes, sir. This is the
So the other thing is the way. Sorry, my dog is now barking at the other barking dogs. The other thing that gets to me is, what I've noticed is that most of the time when people are emotional and they're going through a trauma that just happened, and then they call the first responders. They're not trying to, they're not over emoting. They're trying to push down their emotions so they can get the information out, right? And Alex is going, again, acting the way that maybe a child would, like you say, a little boy lying to his mom, acting the way he thinks it would sound if he was really, really upset. That's the way it looks to me. Steve, be quiet.
the firearm you brought from inside the house?
Yes, sir. I went and got. This is a long story. My son was in a boat wreck a few months back. He's been getting through.
So the first thing he brings up is this boating accident, right? So I thought it was interesting. I think it was, I was watching Emily D. Baker yesterday, and she said, he said what the motive was, and the motive was the boat accident. And I have to agree. When he says, the first thing he says is he starts to bring up a motive immediately. He starts to talk through the entire case with the police before they even get to the freaking bodies. I mean, wouldn't Music City Mom says guilty. Yep. Hey, YT Kimberly. Wouldn't it be hard to think of any words to say? Yeah, it would be hard to think of any words. I would be so emotional, but also trying to think of words to say to help explain what's going on, but pushing down the emotion so I could do it. It's a completely different energy, a completely different vibe. And so it's like he's putting on an act that he doesn't know how to sell because he doesn't have those actual feelings, in my view.
Threats. Most of it's been benign stuff we didn't take serious.
Okay.
You know, he's been getting like punched. I know that's somebody. I know that's what it is.
Okay. When did you get home? Right when you called, or did you go to the house first? Where is the house?
I came to the house first. My mom has.
I know that's what it is. How do you know? Like he's already gone to convicting the murderer. He's already gone to deflection. It's not me. Yeah, exactly. Because he had a big part in that boat murder, all the, cover up part.
Late stages Alzheimer's, and my dad is in the hospital.
Okay.
I left. I don't know what time. I can go back on my phone and tell you the exact times. Did you check?
Okay. Did I check what?
Did you check them?
We got medical guys that are that's what they're gonna do. Okay.
What are they doing? Can they hurry?
They are. Yes, sir. That gentleman that was out here already. He's one.
So it finally dawns on him. Can he hear? Can we hurry? Yeah, that's a good point, YT. No survivor guilt. There would be why? Right? Why didn't they get me? I was I'm the one that they should be after, and I'm the one that's been stealing all this stuff, and that people have been mad at, and why them, not me? What? Who and it's also, to me, it's just the entire way that he's trying to force this. Oh my. Sorry, you guys, but sometimes it's hard. Steve, be quiet. Please be quiet. I think that when I just made that noise, that it scared my dog. And please be quiet. And my dog, as you can kind of hear, I'm sorry, Music City Mom. I know that happens sometimes when I'm playing YouTube videos and I hear other dogs barking, and other dogs are barking. He barks. And also, I have quite the startle reflex. I mean, I startle pretty easily, and he has this big bark, which I really like because, whenever people come around, he's like, bah, bah, bah. But sometimes it scares the shit out of me, like you just saw happen. So yeah, YT can be like, all the vehicles were at the house and it was dark and misting. How did they get there? Yeah. I mean, those are all details of the case that, the jurors are going to have to talk through, and also how did Maggie and Paul get to the kennels? All that stuff that the jurors are going to have to get through in the timeline and the opportunity and everything. But for me, it's just this, what really what's super triggering to me is phony people. Phony people trigger the F out of me. And Alex triggers me. Yeah. I'm sorry, Sonny. Yeah, that exaggerated startle reflex comes from somewhere, unfortunately. And so I'm sorry you have that. Yeah, Mary, his entire affect is so off. By the way, if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, please do. Also consider becoming a member if you do. It is a way to support my channel, and I do create some members only content almost every week. I try to get to it every week. All right, here we go.
One of the battalion chiefs, okay? How did you pull up? You from back there?
I went to the house and they weren't home, which was odd. I tried to call,
Okay.
and then I knew they had been down here before I left to go to my mom's.
Okay.
And so that is loaded.
Okay.
You might want to unload it. But I mean,
Is it?
So I want to play that for you again because there's a startle. There, I'm sorry, my dog is still barking, and I want to point out to you something that just got to me that he just did. It really got to me. This.
they weren't home, which was odd. I tried to call,
Okay.
and then I knew they had been down here before I left to go to my mom's.
Okay.
And so that is loaded.
Okay.
You might want to unload it. But I mean,
Is this the only firearm we?
Did you hear that? So I mean, right? Hey, Violet. It's the when you're truly have just been, and I have been through a situation where, you know, I witnessed crime, okay? Or I came upon crime. I've been in these situations when I was completely innocent. I had nothing to do with it, all right? I assure you, and I know I'm not this person, but it's just not natural to be going, what you're really doing is going, oh my God, I can't, you know, it's much more trying to suppress it than, and because there's such a burst of uncontrollable emotion when you see something like that, that it feels uncomfortable and it feels out of control. So you're trying to take it down because you see all these people watching you being that way, and it's embarrassing. But at the same time, you know that. So when you're innocent, you're not trying to emote. All right, I'll keep going.
This is the only one, or is there any more in the truck?
I believe that's it.
You think that's the only one? Okay.
I'm 99%.
Do you normally
certain that's
have
right.
any other firearms in your vehicle?
I don't, but it
Okay.
And let me just take that back tiny, that his facial expression back tiny little bit. There is that, to me, looks like fear. That looks more like fear than grief to me. You know, like think about how your face is resting, or how your face feels when you're in fear. And then the difference between that and when you are absolutely in shock and grief, the look in his eye is, you know, I see the combination. And it's hard for me to describe because I'm not a body language expert. All I can really claim to be is an extremely insightful person who has who has not just watched a lot of this, but has spent a good deal of time studying human behavior, and participating in a wide range of emotions, and being in touch with knowing what those emotions are. And I personally don't think that this guy even knows what emotion, how true emotions feel, to know how to express them, if that makes sense to you. All right.
Think that's the only one? Okay.
I'm 99%.
Do you normally
certain that's
have
right.
any other?
And now he's in like questioning mode, you know?
Firearms in your vehicle?
I don't, but
Okay.
occasionally there's a pistol in there.
Okay. Just wait right here for me for a second, okay?
Kill your front lights, I can't see.
They're dead, aren't they? I'm even checking and they're dead.
So I guess at this point it dawns on Alec that he needs to confirm. Now, let's say I'm assuming that he knows they're dead. Okay, let's just say I'm assuming he knows they're dead. At this point, it's dawning on him that he needs to ask them to confirm they're dead so that he registers to, you know, and he knows he's being body cammed, right? He knows how this works, right? So, you know, he knows he has to register in there at some point. Oh, I don't know they're dead. So I need to go ask them if they're dead. That's how that comes across to me. And then especially after the way he acts when they say that they are dead. Now, also, what's, you know, in terms of the details of the case, isn't it true that he said he saw Paul's brains? So how would he not know that these two people were dead and have to ask the police to confirm this if he saw Paul's brains? I mean, yeah.
Checking and they're dead, aren't they? They are dead, aren't they?
Just turn on those.
Whimpering, like a whimpering, whiny. They are dead, aren't they?
Yes, sir. That's what it looks like.
Friend. All are dead. They are dead, aren't they?
Just turn on those.
Yes, sir. That's what it looks like.
Friend.
Yes, sir. That's what it looks like.
Friend.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. To me, it looks like a mask. It just does. But that's just how it looks to me.
All are dead. Where are you now?
Oh, so he was on the phone also. He was on the phone while he was asking if they're dead. Okay, can you confirm they're dead for this person that I'm on the phone with? I'm sure people who've watched the trial more know that who he's on the phone with. Maybe Bubba. I'm sorry, Buster. But they are dead. They are dead. And you know, if he didn't really know they're dead, and he's just being told for sure they're dead, wouldn't. You're welcome, YT. What I don't want to keep comparing what my reaction would be, but I feel like almost any reasonable, loving father's reaction would be to fall on the ground and just fall out in hysterics. You know, when you learn the news for the first time that someone you didn't call Buster for 45 minutes. Okay, thanks, Clairol. When you learn for the first time that someone you really love and cherish and you weren't involved in their murder has died, that is like knee buckling news, right? It's usually not the type of news you hear for the first time and just turn around, hey, crime sleuthin', good to see you, and just kind of turn around and be like, yep, they're dead. You know what I mean? Same here. 2 people, your wife and your child, and you're just going to turn around and go, yeah, they're dead. I don't see grief. I see, maybe there is some grief there because, he didn't want, I do think that when people, and this may be kind of a dark subject to get into, I do think that, when people kill their loved ones, they do suffer some grief. Like if they have if they have real feelings, like maybe it was a spur of the moment decision and later they do feel true grief, but it doesn't mean they're not guilty of doing the thing. So there can be grief that isn't felt in the moment that you hear that these people are dead because you are guilty, but there's grief that these people are gone even if you did kill them. Does that make sense? It's kind of a nuanced thing. So what I'm hearing is grief that these people have, grief that this thing has happened and I have to deal with it. And maybe grief with guilt and fear that he might get caught. That's what I hear. I hear this sense of I have to get through this to get to the other side. Try to figure out how I'm going to get through whether I get nailed for this. That's what I hear.
All right. Yeah, the police are here now. The police are here now. That's my brother.
Okay.
Oh, it's his brother, right?
When was the last time you were here with them or talked to them or anything like that?
Do you hear that? Hi, Esther. Yeah, he's lying. You're right. He's lying about his alibi. And he lied about his alibi until he got caught. He lied about everything until he got caught. That is a schemer. That's somebody who schemes, who's always kind of thinking, that's somebody who's covered up, who's been covering their tracks and constantly scheming. YT says maybe Paul found his pills, and when he says that Paul's phone came out of his pocket, maybe Alex was looking for his pills. Maybe I didn't realize that there was a situation where, right? This is where he lies about first lies about being there, right? I also didn't realize until just I think yesterday or something that there was a situation where he was actually had just been taken off the pills, or there was just made an agreement that he wasn't going to be on his pills, and that he might be in active withdrawals. He might have been in active withdrawals. And I don't think enough credence is given to how incredibly crazy a drug withdrawal like that can make somebody. Now, I've never withdrawn from opiates. Thank God I never got addicted to opiates, but excuse me, I have to. But I know many, 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 many people who have a detox from opiates. And it's, my understanding is you feel like you want to die and you're irritable and you are desperate. And, you know, somebody who's up against it like this guy, Alex was with, you know, the boating thing and the stealing the money, and now with these, with the opioids and everything. Even if he wasn't scheming and planning and, you know, didn't hire somebody to come and help him do this, if he's going out of his mind with withdrawals and he's not getting his way from these people, and these are the two people that are kind of standing in his way of maybe getting some being able to kind of change the entire dynamic of the story such that he's a victim, right? And he gets sympathy. That might be the crazy thing that goes through his head just before he kills them. I can see that. So anyway, the other thing, I want to go back to this, what he just does here. Like, you know, the cop says, when was the last time you saw them? And YT says he claims he had a big bag of pills in his pocket at this very time. Oh, of course he did. Okay. So, right after the cop says, when was the last time you saw them? He walks away, and before he answers, rather than just answering, he goes, you know, it's like he has to say, oh my God, they just told me that they're dead. And I guess I have to show more grief. I have to show more grief right now. And I need to stall for time to answer this question. Yeah. You know what? And congratulations for doing that. It is horrible. I know a couple people who did it without any, on their own, cold turkey. And, you know, which is really dangerous. You could die doing that. But I admire anybody who puts enough commitment into themselves to go through that. I really do. So anyway, so yes, let's hear the dramatics. That so he had to get that in there. Yeah, it's a good point, Music Mom. He's allowed to just kind of be sitting there, you know, talking on the phone to anybody. And of course, there was a very powerful argument about their, you know, the Murdaugh standing in that county and their name and what that means.
It was earlier tonight. I don't know the exact time, but
Okay.
I left. I was probably gone an hour and a half from my mom's, and I saw them about 45 minutes before that.
Okay.
I rode around with Paul for 2 hours this afternoon in the pickup truck.
That's your son, Paul? Okay.
Somebody going to check them?
Yes, sir. They've already checked them.
They did check them?
Yes, sir.
It's official that they're dead?
Yes, sir. That's what it looks like.
So he has to ask. He has to ask again. He has to confirm it again. Is he thinking, oh, I have to pretend that I'm in some sort of denial, and so I have to ask again because didn't you just tell your brother on the phone it's confirmed they're dead? I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced. And I agree. It's when I see somebody who is willing to sit across, and I thought that was a powerful line of questioning by the prosecutor, that when you can sit across from multiple people who have won large settlements because of horrible things that have happened to them, and then lie to them in order to get their money and steal their money. Why isn't this, you know, to me, this is not somebody said it really well. It was on the stand. It was one of the witnesses on the stand. He said, you don't just break your virginity at $4 million. Okay. So these things build up. They build up. People who are lifelong criminals or just, are criminals or even just lifelong manipulators, they start small and they just build up and build up and build up. And then after a while, you're like, hey, if I can get away with this, I can get away with that. If I can get away with this, I can get away with that. If you watch any of the really well done, but sort of glorifying the drug lords narcos shows, you see how the narcos will just really start really small with the bribes. They'll start with little favors and then they'll just keep building up, keep building up, keep building up. Yeah, I can see that, Earthling. Okay, let's keep going.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Just,
I'm very sorry. Gotta call her parents.
Football thing.
what's her name?
Her name's Maggie Murdoch. Margaret Brandstetter Murdoch.
It's weird. Sorry. I'm seeing there's a sync issue.
How you doing?
What's her birthday?
9/15/68.
Okay, and what's your son's first name? You said Paul?
Paul Terry Murdoch.
And what's his birthday?
Jason, do you have anybody
4.
coming through town that could stop and
Hey,
pick up
Mario.
that tent? I see lighting off in the distance.
What are they covering them up?
I got some getting dressed now, Sheriff. I'll have somebody stop and grab it.
Tell them they don't have to do that. They don't need to. Preserve what we can.
Yeah, people are back and forth about the whole how you doing. I think it's a little weird, but also at the same time, it's like he's predisposed to being phony. So I almost feel like he would say how you doing in any situation. He would probably say how you doing to the guy he's about to murder, right? I mean,
653. Where's it at? I'm in town.
I should try to be Delta 8 because he's going to be the only one that's got access.
What's
to where
Paul's
it is
birthday?
right now.
Copy.
April 14th, 1999, sir.
Put it up as wide as you can. That's fine. You said 99?
Sir?
He was born in 99.
He's born April 14th.
I mean, yeah, it is. It's just kind of a Southern thing. And like almost anybody is going to be like, have a standard greeting, a standard greeting from when someone walks up. Hello, how you doing? Like, even if my worst enemy were to pop up on the screen right now, I'd be like, how's it going? How are you? You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, hey, what are you doing here? So, but what, sorry, I was about to say something about what just happened. Hold on just a sec.
Wide as you can.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
So, this isn't like a major point, but did you see how long it took for him to remember his own son's birthday? I would be like, I would be like, April 14th was born. Again, yeah, it is inappropriate timing, but I don't think they're really thinking about what's appropriate, inappropriate, especially Alex. So it goes both ways for me.
You said 99?
Sir?
He was born in 99.
He's born April 14th, 1999.
Okay. What's your first name, sir?
My name is Alex Richard Alexander Murdoch.
Richard Alexander Murdoch.
I always wonder if that's what the point where if the police knew already that they were going to the Murdaugh's house, or if that was the first time he knew the cop knew he was at the Murdaugh's house and he was like, "Uh-oh, this is a Murdaugh's house. Oh Jesus. Oh, Holy Mother Mary, Holy Mary, Mother of God, we're at the Murdaugh's house. Oh Jesus. This is going to be messy. This is going to be messy." And then he goes,
You familiar with the location?
No.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Be affirmative.
Cody,
Just what I'm thinking
come
about.
around the
Been out
truck
there before.
and then go to the building. Come around the truck and then yes.
I don't know if it's
In here, and
Tracks in here. Were any of these you going in and out?
no, I came in here and I left one time and I came back.
so if I understand correctly, that was him lying again, right? Because he says, I came in and out one time. Or, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
The rest of them, maybe
Okay.
from earlier, but
Okay.
only 2 are mine.
Did you go out this way at all?
No.
Well, that's right.
Hey, stay here. Got a whole bunch of stuff right there. I don't want to disturb.
I know that's why I'm trying to get the door here so we can kind of get around that way.
Your best way.
What just came?
Thank you.
I'll get that in a little bit.
It says 414.
Okay.
Yeah, those will be easy.
Get Murdoch.
That's all we have to
There are.
Yeah.
Okay. Into the- I do see some. Money?
He had a shotgun.
He did have a shotgun with him. I have secured that in my vehicle.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to see if there's any more of questioning of Alex on this body cam. Looks more like
Yes.
over here.
Where did it look like she was at the end?
Her head.
Looked like a shotgun or rifle round?
That I couldn't tell. It was a big old.
Hello, April. So, looks like there isn't really any more of Alec on the body cam. We've been doing this for an hour. So, would you? Sure, I will. Here's a clue. So I think I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop this now, and then I'll schedule another one while we're on verdict watch to go through his testimony. Because I think that's even a more analysis rich and manipulative rich environment. I really, really do. I mean, it's to me, it's on the Amber Heard level. it was fascinating to watch. So I'll schedule another live to go through, and maybe, yeah, maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure, to go through his testimony. And I'm not sure if I want to go through his police interviews or not. I'll check it. I'll take a look and decide whether I just want to go through his testimony. If you guys have a vote on whether it's testimony or just the police interviews, let me know. But I feel like right now I'm a little bit more interested in going through his testimony, especially since the jury is deliberating, and that'll be fascinating to watch. So thank you all for being here and chiming in. It was good to see you all. Please remember to hit the thumbs up, consider joining the channel to support it. And see, Esther says, in my opinion, if the jurors come back with a not guilty verdict, it'll be, yeah, I agree with that, because SLED investigators failed to do their job properly. I agree. Yep. Thanks for being here, and have a good rest of your day. Take care.